Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic, and we got a fun one this week. We're heading to Historic Brawl to play Gix Yawgmoth Praetor on a 10 rare and mythic budget, and I gotta say, I think Gix is like the perfect budget commander for a Historic Brawl deck for a few different reasons. Number one, it's monocolored, so we don't have to spend any rares or mythics on our mana base, which is super key. Playing 3 or 4 or 5 colors, you're going to need to spend wild cards on rare dual lands to make your deck function. So this is step 1 to making a good budget deck. Step 2 for Gix being a really good budget commander is the cards that Gix wants most are just evasive 1 and 2 mana creatures. So some of the key staples of a Gix deck are stuff like Battlefly Swarm, Blightkeeper, Eye Twitch, Eye Collector, Hired Poisoner, thanks to Death Touch. Just these 1 mana creatures that our opponent either can't block or really doesn't want to block, because the most powerful thing our deck can do is play a 1-drop on turn 1 into 2 1-drops on turn 2, and then Gix, attack with our evasive 1-drops, draw 3 cards, start snowballing our Gix value. So many of the best cards in the deck are commons and uncommons anyway. The third reason that Gix is the perfect budget Historic Brawl commander is its last ability. If we draw a bunch of cards and get up to 7 mana, we can discard a bunch of cards from hand and steal that many cards from the top of our opponent's library. So even though we can't play a lot of rares or mythics, Gix lets us steal all of our opponent's busted rares or mythics, which helps us keep up with the, expensive cards and the power level of our opponent's deck, even though the best cards in our deck are the ginger brutes of the world. So that's what we're doing today. The plan of the deck, it's really straightforward. Play these evasive 1-drops, play Gix, draw a ton of cards, get up enough mana we can activate Gix, YOLO it, spin it to win it, hope that we steal some good stuff from our opponent's deck that can win the game. As far as the rares that are in the deck, you can see this pile here. This is our rares that actually made the cut pile. The two most important, Strixhaven Stadium and Vorpal Sword. These are really worth spending your wild cards on because they work so well with our evasive 1-drop. Strixhaven Stadium is like our backup win con. Because we have all these random evasive 1-mana dorks, we just play Stadium, we attack a bunch, gets a bunch of counters, makes our opponent lose the game. Vorpal Sword, it costs a lot of mana, but we just stick it on one of our evasive creatures or can't be blocked creatures like Changeling Outcast, activate it, hit our opponent, make them lose the game in one attack. Otherwise, we got some more card draw. I really like ninjas in Gix as well because they also work really well with the evasive 1-drop plan, so we can attack with our whatever, Changeling Outcast or Blightkeeper, and ninjutsu something like Nashi into play, ninjutsu something like Swarm Saboteur into play, and then we got like a tutor, Dark Ritual, sadly a rare on Magic Arena, helpful for getting enough mana to activate Gix's second ability, and that's the rares and mythics of the deck. The only other thing I want to mention about this deck is some of the most sneakily powerful cards in the deck are targeted discard spells like Duress. We also have Pilfer in there. These cards are really key to what the deck wants to do, and these are cards that you would never play in 4-player Commander. In 4-player Commander, they're actively bad because you have 3 opponents. Who are you going to duress? Even if you take the best thing out of one player's hand, you still got 2 other opponents that's going to have the best thing in their hand. But in a 1v1 format like Historic Brawl, these cards are really good, and they're doubly so in a deck like ours because the nightmare for us is we just dump our hand of all these 1-drops, and then our opponent kills Gix and then sweeps away our board, and then we're kind of stuck doing nothing, and our top decks are going to be Typhoid Rats and Pilfering Imp. So these discard spells like Duress are really key to getting the sweepers out of our opponent's hand. So we play our 1-drops, we play Gix, we start attacking, we start drawing cards, hopefully we hit some discard, and we cast this and take the Farewell or the Supreme Verdict or whatever sweeper out of our opponent's hand. We also have some other cheap ways of protecting Gix because our opponent, they're gonna know you gotta kill Gix. Like, look at the cards in our deck. Our cards are really bad if we can't keep a Gix on the battlefield. So along with the Duresses, we have stuff like Malakar Rebirth, Fiend Death, Kaya's Ghost Form, these 1-mana ways that just make it so if Gix dies, it comes back to the battlefield to fizzle a removal spell, and that's really all the deck wants to do. So that's why Gix is the perfect budget Historic Brawl commander. That's our budget Magic deck for this week, so let's jump into some games, see if we can draw some cards and spin it to win it with 10 rare Gix in Historic Brawl. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap-up. Need some Brothers War cards? And snag them from our awesome sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Budget Magic time! We are brawling with Gix this week up against Amara, and yeah, it's not super exciting, but it's fine. We get to start with the Duress. We're missing our cheap creatures. I think there's some well, all right, take the Growing Rights. I think there's some argument to mulliganing, but I like that Burnished Heart can ramp into Gix. Gix has this weird Evolving Wilds for our opponent. These weird asks, basically, where it wants a ton of cheap creatures, but then it also kind of wants ramp so you can get to its second ability. Speaking of ramp, Cold Steel Heart, non-anime edition, on black, go. Land and Amara time. I mean, play a land. We do have the Undying Malice, so we can survive a removal spell, although green-white, I think I'd have fight spells, I guess. Their removal is probably exile-based, I would assume. All right, Reliquary Tower for our opponent. Yeah, this hand is not the best example of what we want Gix to be doing. We probably should have mulliganed it, but we're fine. We're fine. Mentor of the Meek for our opponent. I mean, that works really well with Amara in the future. Well, I mean, play the land. We're gonna go attacking. If our opponent tries to double block here, they get so blown out. This Umbral Juke can make them sack a creature and they lose. Oh my goodness. Well, got him. Got Juke, yeah. Make you sack and kill both. And keep Gix and still have, oh my goodness, an opponent's. There's one thing about Historic Brawl is there are some aggressive scoopers in this format. On to another one with 10 rare Gix in Historic Brawl. Let's see if we can do something cooler than last game. I mean, last game we did win, but that was like, ooh, Gabos. Okay, this should be interesting. Kranko versus Gix. Well, this hand is more like what we want, although we're still a little light on evasive creatures. Well, we do have one though. Eye Twitch, also a little light on lands. Opponent, land and Raging Goblin. All right, I can as someone playing a bunch of really bad one drops, I can respect the Raging Goblin. Well, we'll just pass. If our opponent attacks, we would love to block and feign death and loot to try to find a land. If we whiff on lands here, we might be actually in trouble. Okay. Not looking great, not looking great. We kind of need it. Ooh, Squee, okay. That's a good gobbo. Well, we get to loot at least. Block the Morel Sergeant. Feign Death, Eye Twitch. All right, we gotta hit if we don't hit a land here, we're probably dead. We really need to hit a land. So we get back the Eye Twitch with a counter, getting bigger. We'll discard this Nashi. Oh, thank you, Magic Gods. All right, play the land and I guess we just Gix. We're only drawing one, but Gix, it is a 3/3. Gix is such a great card. It's a 3/3, so it's actually the biggest. Ooh, there's a land too. It's actually the biggest thing on the battlefield, so it plays pretty good defense. We did waste our protection spell though. So Kranko, Blood Sun. All right, sure. So Kranko is very good if it has haste. If it does not have haste, we're not as scared. We'll play the Swamp. Get in with our Eye Twitch, draw a card. Get some more info. All right, well, we're hitting our lands now. We've made up for that one we missed. So Kranko can come down, but it doesn't currently have haste. So we gotta save the Chupacabra, I think. Yeah, let's just run out another evasive one drop and run out the Burnished Heart. The more bodies, the better with Gix. Faithless Looting. Opponent's also trying to find lands here. We are playing like 39 lands, which is a lot for a Gix deck. But we're planning on discarding our cards to Gix anyway, so it doesn't really matter if they're lands or non-lands. Dragon Fodder, more Gabos. Wow, the 3/3 is ruling the world here. The Gix has just completely shut down this offense. Well, now we get to start drawing 2 cards. Ooh, and if we sack Burnished Heart, we have enough lands to activate Gix next turn? All right, well, draw and draw. Drana, Arcane Signet, Duress. Make sure there's no like haste. Ooh, Helm of the Host, okay. That's going away. Make sure there's no haste for this Kranko somehow. Hasty Kranko probably makes us die. Arcane Signet, play the land. We can run out the Drana. So we can still activate Gix next turn. And we should be able to draw a few cards. Opponent. Ooh, Ogre Battle. Oh no, okay. Battle Driver is the haste effect. When a creature comes into play, it gives a haste. And +2/+0. So now, well, we get to kill the Squee for now. Oh boy. Let's draw cards. I don't know. The safe thing to do is kill this Battle Driver. It is very tempting to spin the Gix. But we're up against a Goblin deck, so what are we gonna hit? A bunch of Goblins. We could hit removal, I guess. But we already have removal. Drana grows the team. Buna goes to 11. Draw and draw. We never say no. Do we wait one more turn? We can't. Like the Kranko just kills us. We can't risk it. As much as I want to just YOLO it, I don't think our opponent's deck has that much removal. So let's just run out the Chupacabra, leave up the Burnished Heart activation, get rid of the haste. So now our opponent can Krenko, that's fine. Krenko won't kill us till next turn. And then this turn, ooh, opponent's tapped out. All right, well, this turn, I think we're gonna do it. I think we're going to do it. Untap, draw Fell Stinger. That is 2 damage. Wait, do we have lethal here? Opponent goes to 8. Drana grows the team. We can deal 2 with Fell Stinger, but oh my God, we do have lethal. We're gonna spin Gix though. You don't play Historic Brawl to not discard 10 cards to Gix. It's objectively wrong because we literally have lethal with this Fell Stinger, but how can you pass up the value? How can you, and you also got to go all the way. There's no, oh, we're going to keep that card for next turn. No, if you're playing Gix, you got to spin all the way. All right, we might lose because of this. Let's see. Opponent can activate Krenko to make a ridiculous amount of goblins. Discard our hand. Exile 10. What do we get from the Gobos? Goro, Goblin Javelineer, Curse of Shaken Faith. Okay, none of this saves us. Artillery, I don't even know what that is. Random Goblin, Goblin Matron, Boarded Windows. Oh my God. Yes. Oh goodness. Okay, so I think this would have made us lose, but Boarded Window saves us. Creatures attacking you get -1, -0. Which means opponent's gonna make like infinite goblins with this Krenko, but they can't deal damage. Wow, that is the weirdest way to get rewarded for not winning the game with that Fell Stinger. Who plays Boarded Window? Oh, our poor opponent. Oh, we're gonna win. Oh my goodness, and they cast a spell to Curse of Shaken Faith and die. Well, that was way more interesting than winning with Fell Stinger. I'll give it that. Sweet, sweet. Budget Magic time. Doing some more Gixing in Historic Brawl, and this hand looks great. I mean, we need a land, but triple 1-drop into Gix is the dream. So as long as we hit our land on time. Nice Age here. Stinger, go. Up against Soldiers by the look. Mural, haven't played against Mural yet. We will see opponent with the, oh, there's the land. Boom. Nightshade Stinger is so bad, I can't even block. But it's so good with Gix. Ball Scourge, costs a little life, but all right. I mean, we're set up for Gix draw 3 next turn, hopefully. Opponent, land, and Luminarch, not even a soldier. All right, Luminarch is mine, right? Well, Gix time. Land, Gix, swing. If you want to trade with Foulmire Knight, you can. Opponent says no, we get to draw 3. Ooh, Vorpal Sword. All right, bunch of lands and a Vorpal Sword. Well, let's see if our opponent can kill the Gix. If not, we're gonna keep doing that. Land for our opponent. I mean, any of these cards, the Foulmire Knights, the Vault Scourges, the Nightshade Stingers, if they draw a single card, they're worth it. If they draw more than one card, they're busted. All right, opponent, ramp, and Dauntless Bodyguard to protect the Luminarch Aspirant. None of this really stops us from doing our thing, though. I mean, this means we're not attacking with Gix. Ooh, banner. Well, play the land, go to combat. We could banner to get in more damage, but I kind of want to see what we draw. Swing. All right, they're going to block. We get to draw 2. Because we're only hitting our opponent for 1 with each of these creatures, we're kind of losing life as fast as we're, ooh, Gray Merchant. We're kind of losing life as fast as we're dealing damage to our opponent. Oh, Drana. Yeah, we could play Banner. I think Drana's better, though. Drana's summoning 6, so we can Banner next turn and before combat if we want to and get the benefit from both. Well, let's see what our opponent does. I mean, at some point, they're going to have to kill this Gix, right? Or else they're going to just lose. I don't know. Maybe you just figure, well, all you're drawing is Blight Keepers. That's the thing, though. You're not only drawing Blight Keepers, we're also drawing tons of cards off of our opponent's deck. Ooh, Glass Casket. Gix down. No. Oh, okay. Opponent more scared of the Drana. Interesting. That means we get to keep drawing cards. We're not that far away from being it. I wonder if our opponent should be attacking. Reliquary Tower is nice. We're not that far away from spinning Gix. We get to 5 mana, Heraldic Banner 6 mana. So next turn we could potentially spin. And we're gonna have the Reliquary Tower. Well, okay. Land, oh my god, all lands. Oh my god, all lands, okay. Well, that's fine, that's fine. We just need Gix to live so we can discard them. Banner on black, post-combat, little awkward. Pass the turn. Opponent. All right, untaps. I mean, if we get to spin Gix, we win, right? We should win. How do we not win if we get 10 plus cards off of our opponent's deck for free? Opponent needs something here. They need something impactful. Like, run out your Miro, please. Please, as long as you're not killing Gix, do what you will. We've attacked for so much and the life totals are 16 to 18. And that's mostly because Vault Scourge has been gaining us life. If it wasn't for that, I think we'd somehow have less life than our opponent, even though they haven't attacked. And we've hit him for with like 10 creatures. Aww. All right, Banishing Slash. So that gets rid of the banner, which means we don't have the mana to spin this turn. Luminarch Aspirant. If our opponent had been attacking with this Aspirant, who knows? We might just be dead. Thankfully, we have this Reliquary Tower, our one non-swamp land. Opponent down to 13. We will draw some cards. Eye Twitch, Entomber Exarch, and a land. All right, we'll play the land. I guess we can duress mode with Entomber Exarch, try to make sure there's not like a Wrath or a removal spell for Gix. We could also try to go for the Vorpal Swordwind at some point. All right, what do you got going on over there, opponent? 2 MDFCs and a Redain. Although Valorous Stance is like pretty bad against us. We don't really have creatures with enough toughness. Yeah, let's just pass. Well, next turn. Next turn should be the turn. Opponent. All right, backside of Redain. Well, this does stop us from drawing cards, unfortunately. That preventing damage, 1, 2, 3. Well, thankfully, we already have a million cards in hand, so we don't even really need to attack and draw more. Like, this is gonna be one of our biggest Gixes yet. Even though we should be able to draw 3 more here if it wasn't for that shield. All right, Gix for 10, Gix for 10. Discard them all. Come on, soldiers, give us something good. Oh, we probably get a bunch of bad soldiers. Well, let's see. Oh no. Oh no. Huh. That does more than just prevented damage, doesn't it? Huh. Huh. So that shield has another mode where spells that target your stuff cost 1 more. Spells or abilities relevantly to Gix. Oh, wow. Did we just pay 7 and discard our hand for nothing? Oh, I'm so good at Magic. Editor, make me look smart somehow. And now we can't even deal damage. Oh, we're gonna lose now. We definitely lose. Yeah, that just does it. Oh, wow. Editor, save me, please. Budget Magic time. We are doing some more Gixing in Historic Brawl. Just 10 rares and mythics. And this hand against Urza. This hand's awkward. It's fine, but it's not exciting. We do get a free Maul. If we had a 1-drop, that hand would be good. Well, this hand's actually kind of similar, but we're not going to 6, so we'll keep it. We got a bunch of removal, so we're not just gonna get run over by Urza, I guess. Opponent Island. Well, hello to you, Urza. Orzhov Enforcer. We can't, I mean, the power of Gix is if you have any creatures, you just draw so many cards. Guardian Idol for our opponent. Well, land, we just Gix, I think. We could Phyrexian Arena, but Gix draws us a card right away and potentially tons of cards next turn. If our opponent can't kill it, we can get blockers out of the way with removal and just go to town. Blightkeeper's good. We'll take any random little evasive creatures we can find. All right, opponent going to continue romping. And Automated Artificer. All right, ramp for artifact stuff. Well, go to combat attack. I don't even think we're gonna bother to kill it. If they want to block Gix and lose their ramp, that's fine. All right, so we get to draw 2. Fell Stinger and, well, there's a land. I mean, we got the Malakar Rebirth, but how do we do this? Let's just play the Swamp, play the Blightkeeper, play Phyrexian Arena. Draw, I mean, the more cards we draw, the more cards we steal from our opponent's deck with Gix. So even though we might not need the card draw from Phyrexian Arena, it's still gonna be valuable. All right, there's Urza. Double Anthem for the artifact creatures and can start copying stuff. But it does have enough mana. Well, we probably gotta kill Urza, right? Ornithopter, all right. Well, now we definitely have to because we can't attack and draw cards. Opponent, you're attacking our card draw. How are we gonna kill it, though. We have so many options. Let's go with Infernal Grasp. Get rid of Urza. Go to combat. Do some attacking. Draw. Probably 2. They get a free block on the Blightkeeper with Ornithopter of Paradise. Ooh, do we want a ninjutsu? Probably not. All right, opponent. Down to 16. We get to draw 2. Village Rites and Schwamp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we play the tap land. We want to get to spinning. This gets us to spinning Gix next turn if we want to. We'll have 7 mana. We got the untap land. So hopefully we just draw as many cards as possible and then spin it to win it. See what we hit. The Weatherlight completed. I mean, we could also just kill Urza again, which also is fine. Yeah, let's sack the Blightkeeper. Draw a couple cards. I mean, we're all in on the Gix plan. Draw a card, go to combat, get him with the Death Toucher. This is gonna be, hopefully this is gonna be a good one. Draw another card. Play the land. Spin it to win it. Let's go X10, whole hand, target you. Discard it all. What do we find? Oh, I see some. All right, Weatherlight, Karn Silex, Workshop Assistant, Urza, Surge Engine, Foundry Inspector. Okay, I mean that's not bad. That's not bad. We did discard all of our removal, but we did get a Karn Silex, which could answer this. Our opponent does have enough mana; they can start countering or copying stuff with Urza if they want to. Well, this is going to be interesting. We did not have anything that just straight up wins us the game. Ooh, Meteor. That getting copied by Urza is a problem. I'm guessing our opponent has to blow up the Karn Silex. Yeah, they probably don't want us to have the option to sweep the board here. Yeah, there goes the Silex. Well, now we're at the point where we can draw cards and spin our Gix every turn if we want to. So we draw with Arena, card number 1. We draw for our turn, it's a Swamp. Crew up the Weatherlight. Probably just tap Gix, I guess. Gix is the one creature that we're definitely not gonna attack with. Well, let's see if we can draw some cards and spin it to win it. Hit you with the Weatherlight, hit you with the Death Toucher. Oh, they just take it? Okay, that's good. So we will take a Ginger Brute from Weatherlight. Draw. So we're gonna have 5 cards in hand. Eye Twitch. Draw. Diabolo. Maybe we gotta wait one more turn. I don't think we can let this. Yeah, I think we have to actually stop our opponent here. Let's drill bit. The discard spells are really important to this deck. Do not cut the discard spells. They're horrible in actual Commander because it's a multiplayer format. Ooh, get rid of the Sculpting Steel. I think we have to deal with this Urza or the Meteor Golem. We're just gonna run out everything, and then hopefully draw enough cards that we can spin next turn. We're just gonna Diabolic Intent, one of our 10 rares, and it's a pretty good one with a bunch of sackable dorks. Sack the Workshop Assistant, get back the Mind Stone. Snag a removal spell for Urza. I guess it doesn't really matter what we take. I guess like Hero's Downfall. I mean, we just need something that's gonna kill Urza. Let's take Hero's Downfall, that's fine. Play the Mind Stone for free. And blow up the Urza. We're kind of doing our opponent's deck better than they are. We got 2 cost reducers, so we're getting to cast all of our artifacts super cheap. So Urza down. Meteor Golem not getting copied. Don't care about the Mind's Eye in our opponent's hand. All right, so hopefully, yeah, let's run with the Eye Twitch. I mean, hopefully we can draw a ton of cards and get a really nice Urza spin next turn. Or not Urza spin, Gix spin. About it. Ooh, Mystic Forge. That's a good one. That is a good one. Ooh, wait, are we passing? Okay. Let's sack the, I mean, we just want as many cards in hand as possible to discard to our Gix. All right, draw with Arena. Burn Ishtar. Well, crew it up. Go to combat. Ginger Brew, unblockable. We still have enough mana. We're gonna have to play a land drop, but go to combat. Maybe we just swing with everything. We don't really care if our opponent wants to like block and kill Foundry Inspector or whatever. We don't really care. What do you got, opponent? Fires up the Guardian Idol. Sure. Are we gonna have to spin for 10 again? Probably not quite. 7 maybe? So opponent blocks Urza. I mean, what? We're guaranteed to get 2. Blocks the Weatherlight. Blocks the Foundry Inspector. All right, so we get to draw 3. So 6? Because we do have to play the land. All right, well, come on, Gix. Opponent gets to do some scrying, which is not gonna work as well as I want because we're gonna activate Gix. Ooh, something is gonna be on top. Leaves it on top, leaves it on top. Well, draw the cards. Down to 10, down to 9, 8. All right, play the land and Gix it. X6, discard them all. Those are the rules we live by. Discard the whole hand every time. They can exile the top card with Mystic Forge that they scried to the top, and they will. And it was a Forsaken Monument. Okay. Oh my God, Mind Stone, Horse's Silex, Inchblade Companion Portal to Phyrexian. Wow, an opponent scoops it up. Yeah, that was a good spin. That was all action. All action. Well, Gix, better than Urza apparently. That was sweet. Sweet, sweet. Budget magic time. We are doing some more Gixing in Historic Brawl. 10 rare budget Gix, and sounds fine. I mean, 1 drop, Guardian Idol, maybe Gix, we'll see, or Black Market Connections. Should we kill ourselves this game? That's the... In reality, it might be that we shouldn't play Black Market Connections because I can't resist taking 6. And in Historic Brawl, you only get 25 life. That's 4 6s and you're at 1. Maybe in a Death Shadow deck. Opponent. Are you actually going to kill a Nightshade Stinger? Well, land and Guardian Idol. Would you like to take the 1? Even though Nightshade Stinger is not a great card, the fairy art from Lorwyn's so good. Like even a random crappy, just look at the background. It's so good. We need to return to Lorwyn and Morningtide, I think, and get more of that sweet art. Ice Tunnel for our opponent. No white mana for Alayla yet. Well, a counter seems likely. Let's get in for 1. I think we're gonna wait on Gix. Probably just gonna play Phyrexian Arena, which is worse than Black Market Connections, but I think whatever we do here is gonna get countered. Opponent. Oh, all right, maybe not. Well, yes, we would like to draw extra cards each turn. We even got some life gain in hand, which is nice. Oh boy, opponent, no white mana still. Poor opponent. Wrinkle, Master of Pranks, sure. Gets and hits us. Wow, maybe our opponent's playing Fairy Tribal. Are they Fairy Tribal? Chooses no modes. Well, okay. Land, Gix. Get in for 1. Draw a card. We're actually not that far away from activating Gix either, and stealing a ton of bad fairies. Play better cards, opponents. Please. Actually, Wrinkle's good. Opponent might have good cards. All right, there's a land. There's a Layla. Sure. What are we choosing? Nothing again. All right, well, we untap. We draw a card. We lose a life. It's an eye twitch. Well, play the land, go to combat, hit you with the Gix. I don't think our opponent's gonna block here. Opponent takes the beats. Well, we will draw. Okay, there's the land. So, step 1, drill bit you. Removal, Immortal, Sunbrazen Borrower. Wow, it's a lot of removal. We don't care about Nettle Cyst too much. Let's take Prison Realm, and then let's kill a Layla, gain a bit of life, and... All right, so opponent has a lot of good cards, but we have an eye twitch. Opponent's done. So we did tap out, but our opponent didn't have any removal. Like they have Brazen Borrower, which Feign Death isn't gonna kill anyway. Opponent, 1/1 Nettle Cyst. Are we attacking? Well, maybe they're gonna try to bounce the Gix. We'll just take it. I guess this is sort of a free sacrifice. Yeah, we'll sack the Fairy Stinger. Opponent. Well, let's see if they Brazen Borrower. Not yet. Well, draw some cards, go to combat, swing. We would like to draw more cards first. If our opponent goes to Brazen Borrow, I think we do just discard our hand. On second thought, let's just wait. So, Gix goes back to hand. We can wait 1 more turn. Hit you with the eye twitch. Gix. Feed the Swarm the Rankle. pass the turn. Next turn hopefully is the one where we get to actually spin the Gix. The problem with spinning Gix there is I'm actually not sure, I should probably know this. Do timing restrictions apply? Like if we spin this at the beginning of combat, can we only cast instants? Or if we spin Gix during our opponent's turn, can we cast everything we hit? Reconnaissance mixin'. Maybe Gix does break the timing restriction. Anyway, we're gonna spin this Gix at sorcery speed, and it's gonna be good. Draw a card, draw a card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a pretty good number. Yes, we will discard 9 cards. Every one of them, as tradition dictates. Wedding announcement. Ooh, borrowed time. Ooh. Elspeth's Nightmare. Ooh, Bolas's Citadel. Glacial Floodplain. I don't think we want to Frogify. All right. That's not bad. That's not bad. Guess we get rid of the Nettle. Says opponent doesn't have any creatures anyway. Well, let's continue to kill ourselves. Order of Midnight. Pass the turn, draw a card. Bolas's Citadel is a card wait, can we active 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? We might be able to win with our opponent's Bolas's Citadel, which is hilarious. Opponent, Brazen Borrower. Draw a card and lose a life. Draw a card, we're down to 5. We'll take Cure Best the Sea God. Ugh, Pilfer. Take the Mortal Sun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Typhoid Rats. I think we go to 1 and then win with Bolas's Citadel. Malakar Rebirth. Down to 1. We do sadly have to say no to Gix here. But I think it's going to be worth it because Bolas's Citadel. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That looks like 10 to me. Yes, yes. That is a good Gix win. We will decline. And at 1 life, with our opponent's Bolas's Citadel, the perfect example of what I was saying in the intro, which is, what were the 3 reasons that Gix is a great budget Historic Brawl deck? First, it's monocolored, so you don't need expensive land. Second, the staples, the cards you want the most, are these random common 1-mana 1/1 flyers. Third, you get to steal your opponent's good cards, and we got to see that. Bolas's Citadel was a card that I wanted in this deck. It was in the initial build, but then I ended up having to cut it because I was trying to get as few rares in the deck as possible, so I ended up not making the cut in the end. But because of Gix's ability, we still get to play Bolas's Citadel and win with Bolas's Citadel just with our opponent's deck. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Opponent, mono blue Hooken. Jacob Hooken. Well, land, Dark Ritual, Navigation Orb. Navigation Orb, eh? Too strong? Too strong opponent? Really? That card? That card's too good? It's like a 4-mana Cultivate. Other reason that Gix is the perfect budget Historic Brawl deck. Players apparently scoop to Dark Ritual, even if you play something really bad off of it on turn 1. That's like the worst possible thing to, oh my god, Tetyova, okay. This is the true challenge. Can we outdraw Tetyova? If we can outdraw Tetyova, oh, man, we got the Vorpal Sword. Don't tell our opponent. This might be the Vorpal Sword win. Can we outdraw Tetyova? The card drawiest, landfalliest, greeniest commander deck in existence. I mean, Tetyova's just, it's busted. Although our opponent is mulliganing. Although Tetyova will make up for those mulligans. Still mulliganing, takes a free one and another one. Well, boom, and All-Star Eye Collector. Get in there. 1-mana 1/1 flyer that mills for no reason. Opponent. Actually, the mill's kind of relevant here because we can mill into Call the Death Dweller stuff. Well, boom, hit ya. Mill, everyone. The question's gonna be, do we run out the Gix? If our opponent, opponent does tap down, okay. Well, play the land, play Gix. Get in with the Gifted Aetherborn. Draw a card. Changeling Outcast is not the worst. Ledger Shredder is kind of good. That blocks our flyers. Eye Collector looking worse. Ooh, Tireless Provisioner. Draw a card. Yeah, let's feed the Swarm, Ledger Shredder. Get the flyer out of the way. Changeling Outcast. Palaka Predation. Now we're hopefully set up to draw even more cards next turn. Although our opponent does have a Tireless Provisioner. Pretty good in a landfall deck, opponent. Gonna gain a bit of life, make Gaiasima Treasure to play Tetyova. Okay. Oh my God, Arboreal Grazer is actually really good against us. That also stops our Eye Collector. I guess we can sort it. And there's the Teyova. Whew. All right, that was a good turn for our opponent. That was a good one. That's actually even a better one. All right, so play the land. Play Vorpal Sword. Equip the Vorpal Sword to the Eye Collector. Opponent. Gonna block the Eye Collector. Well, let's pick up the Outcast. Actually, I think let's pick up the Ether Board. Let's discard the Ether Board. Pick up the Ether Board. Hit our opponent. Draw some cards. Discard Entomber Exarch. Kill Teyova. Ninja Power coming through. Pass the turn. Oh, we can actually surprise activate with Dark Ritual next turn. Opponent probably has some big top end stuff and oh no, bonus scoops it up. Well, I mean, I guess we were pretty far ahead, but maybe Gix is actually really good, even on a super cheap budget. We just kind of keep crushing people. Although that was kind of an early scoop, I will say. Ooh, up against Battery Cat. Okay. Wait, against Alchemy. Oh, now we gotta win. We can't let Alchemy win. We've been fighting this battle for the past year. Alchemy will not beat us. We have a Battlefly Swarm to make sure that's true. Passes. Well, combat. Hit you for 1. Tag the 1 opponent. Down to 24. Kite Sail Freebooter. Sadly, can't hit the Battery. Oh, gonna gain some life, eh? Gift of Estates, Smothering Tide, Shatter the Sky. What is this? Destroy, gain life. I mean, I guess we gotta just take Shatter the Sky. We would prefer our board not to get wrathed. And I mean, we are set up to run out the Gix. Battery does not do a ton on an empty board. Well, land and Gix. And hit ya. And draw 2. We're just gonna ignore this Battery for the time being. All right, couple of swamps. Opponent. Smothering Tithe. Well, opponent's gonna make a lot of mana. They are going to make many manas. Sure, you get a treasure. Let's kill Battery here. This means we're not drawing cards, but it also means we're not giving our opponent infinite treasures, which is nice. Play the land. Play Navigation Orb. Pass the turn. Land for our opponent. They can't play that 6. Oh, that's an instant? Jeez, okay. So what does this do? Make 2/2/2. Seek an on-land permanent, mana value 3 or less. Destroying an artifact, destroying an enchantment, gain 3. Oh, that's not that bad. Sure, you get a treasure. Well, let's start with Palaka Predation. Make our opponent do something. Oh, jeez. Well, Alchemy has been defeated. Dead. The format's dead. Dead forever. We did it. The funny thing is our opponent wasn't even playing Alchemy cards. What do you think? Should there be ranked Historic Brawl? It seems weird because the heart of Historic Brawl is to be Arena Commander, and Commander is at its best as a casual format. On the other hand, the one thing I dislike now that I play Historic Brawl kind of frequently is you do get a lot of people that scoop at the first sign of, and I'm not blaming the people. If you're like, I'm not having fun in this game and you scoop, but it is a little awkward for recording content. So I don't want people to be punished for scooping. That's silly. People should be able to scoop whenever they want to scoop, but having a way to play Historic Brawl with an incentive not to scoop, like your rank going up or down, that could actually be interesting. Oh, this hand, boom, hired Poisoner. We even got Das Boots to go on Das Gix. Recruitment Officer. Well, land and let's just do a little bit of freebooting. 3 to cast, 3 to equip, makes a knight. You know what? You can ramp. That's fine. That is fine. And I think we just get in with a Poisoner. If our opponent wants to trade, we will accept that. Opponent takes the beats. Land. Asha of the Fallen. Getting in. So opponent's definitely trying to be aggro. However, we're going to start drawing cards. Go attacking. Wow, opponent still not. I mean, I guess this damages us. Maybe our opponent's just going to try to take advantage of the fact we're losing life. All right, draw a couple lands, including an MDFC opponent. Sunrise Cavalier. Well, no blocks. Well, play the land, go to combat, attack with everything. If our opponent double blocks, we will just Malakari Birth. hit ya, kill stuff, get back our Gix, draw some cards. Arcane Signet, Drill Bit you, take reinforcements, Vampire of the Dire Moon. These 1-minute Death Touchers are actually super good against our opponent's deck. Is it Aurelia time? So we're 2 turns. Ooh, Brutal Cathar. That is brutal. Yeah, we'll go back to the command zone. Yeah, I think we actually gotta kill this. Down to 12. Well, Gix part 2. Hit you with the freebooter. Draw a silencer, play the MDFC. Well, next turn we can spin it to win it. Not gonna be the biggest Gix spin, but ooh, all right. Opponent's gonna Replicating Ring instead of, and a Monk of the Open Hand, instead of running out Aurelia. Well, go to combat. Oh, opponent takes it. Opponent takes it. All right, hit ya. Well, here we go. Spin for 7? Although our opponent does have a lot of annoying aggro threats, but still, I mean, so what we came here to do, we're not gonna say no. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What? Oh no, those were not good cards, were they? A Johnny, Cold Steel Heart, light up the stage. Ouch. Okay, those were not great. Those were not the best cards. Ooh, let's reanimate Vampire of the Dire Moon. Actually, that seems good. Not the best spin ever. Yeah, we hit a lot of, oh no, it's a Winota deck. Oh, Hidden Commander Winota. Opponent gets in, gets a Winota trigger. How devastating is it? Opponent. Siege Veteran. Well, we'll kill the Monk. We'll lose the Ajani. Untap, draw. Opponent's gonna take it. All right. Draw a card. It's a land, draw a card. Ooh, Chupacabra, okay. Draw a card. We're at 8. What does this do? Beginning combat on your turn, 1 creature gets +2/+0 in trample or vigilance. Okay, so we're just gonna, as much as we would like to just spin here, I think we can't let Winota live. Winota, pretty bustarito. Play the land, play Burnished Tart, pass the turn. Well, we survived the Winota, which is good. Skyclave Apparition. Gonna hit the Gix, back to the command zone. This game's super close. Well, let's double block. We lose something, but we get rid of this Brutal Cathar at least. We are at 8. That is not a super high life total. Opponent gets a token. Well, Gix returns. We gotta start playing a little bit defensively now. We're gonna draw. Down to 6. No fear. No fear. 1/1 Death Toucher. Foulmire Knight, and land. Opponent. All right, there's the Aurelia. These 1/1 Death Touchers are actually just legit awesome. Opponent gonna grow this Skyclave. And pass. All right. Well, we're gonna draw cards. Land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you know what? Let's spin for 6. It can't be any worse than last time. Last time was the worst. We had so many lands. All right, discard it all. Maybe it can be worse than last time. 5 lands in a, boy, opponent's deck is not cooperating with us today. 5 lands in a Heliod's Punishment. Goes attacking. All right, block and chump. No fear, no fear. Our opponent's deck is gonna be good to us one of these times. Hit ya, hit ya, hit ya. Draw, 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 draw. I mean, we can win by tutoring up. I mean, I think we gotta win this time. Diabolic Intent, sack the Foulmire Knight. We can tutor up Gary, and we're so close to being dead. I think we actually have to do it. We could spin it to win it, but Gary's a pretty sweet win too. We haven't got a Gary win before. 10 rare Gix, kind of busted. And also just super fun to play. Well, sweet, sweet, sweet. So what do we learn this week about Gix Yawgmoth Praetor in Historic Brawl on a 10 rare and mythic budget? And the deck worked really well. You got to see the games. We were sort of crushing people, but really, remember, we're playing Brawl. This isn't like a rank up to mythic style format. This is a we want to be doing cool things style format. And I think that Gix really met that criteria as well. So many of our games came down to a spinning Gix, which has got to be one of the sweetest things you can do in Historic Brawl. Brawl, and we had like several times where we were activating Gix with 10 cards in hand just from drawing with all of our random dorks and stealing ridiculous stuff off the top of our opponent's deck, like game-ending, game-winning stuff off the top of our opponent's deck. We also got the Vorpal Sword kill, which was really sweet. We almost got the Strixhaven Stadium kill, but our opponent had an answer for it. So the deck functioned really well. It was really fun. It drew a ton of cards, and I gotta say, I love Gix just because it's such a great way to make a budget deck that costs hardly any rares or mythics actually really fun and competitive enough. Like, even in Historic Brawl, you don't want your deck to be super uncompetitive most of the time because you're gonna play against people who are playing some pretty strong cards. So you want your deck to be good enough that you can, keep up with what your opponent's doing, actually execute your game plan, and Gix really just hits it out of the park, especially when you consider the budget. So if you're looking for something that's super cheap and super fun to play in Historic Brawl, I would recommend 10 Rare Gix because it is just an absolute blast to play. And then remember, you're playing Historic Brawl, so if you got a favorite black card or whatever, feel free to throw it into your deck. Feel free to upgrade the mana base with like some Castle Lock Waynes. The Channel Land would be good here. So there's tons of customization options as well. So anyway, that is Historic Brawl 10 Rare Gix. That's been our budget magic for this week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.